It could have happened here. As everywhere else, people here are expressing concern about the nurse in Maine who was exposed to Ebola but refuses to remain in quarantine. Casey Hickox says she doesn't believe keeping her isolated is acceptable. TV Choice Nico Clemens tells us this controversy is raising questions about civil rights.
Does she have the right to go out and live her life? Some Gainesville residents I spoke with today have different views on what Casey Hickox should or should not be allowed to do.
Well, I think she has all right to do that. She tested negative.
Levon Hernandez was born in the Dominican Republic. He says if someone comes to the States from an Ebola-infected area, once they're tested, go by the test.
If they test positive, then they should take the necessary precautions to make sure that other people don't get infected. But if they test negative, then the quarantine just seems overdoing it a little bit.
Nurse Casey Hickox's last contact with an Ebola patient was in Sierra Leone, October 21st. When she returned, she was kept in a tent outside a New Jersey hospital for 3 days. She's now speaking out. Wednesday night, she spoke to reporters outside her home, saying she's trying to reach a solution with state officials.
I'm not willing to stand here and let my civil rights be violated when it's not science-based.
Trial lawyer Robert Rush says Hickox does have the right to go out.
It comes down to this. If you want to curtail someone's freedom, particularly their freedom to travel, you go to court and you get a court order. And the order then says, because of this evidence, we need you to stay at home.
Rush says the reason that needs to be done is because there isn't any evidence of a present emergency.
If, for example, that she was known to be contagious at this present time, under the police powers that government has, in an emergency situation like that, they could possibly then take her into custody because of the health hazard under the general police powers. But what we're having here is a person who has no symptoms whatsoever, and they're saying, hey, you don't have the right to do this.
This week it was announced that all soldiers returning from Africa must be isolated for 21 days. Some residents believe that those in the medical field should hold themselves to a higher standard.
You know the dangers, you know the risks, and it's important to prevent other people from coming in contact with infectious agents.
The isolation period for Nurse Hickox ends on November 10th. As of late this afternoon, Maine health officials were unable to reach a compromise with Hickox. Nico Clemens, TV 20 News.